Sound. So I've got an MP3 file downloaded, which I want to have playing in my Visual Studio project or my Visual Basic project. But the issue is Visual Basic for some reason really doesn't like MP3 files. So I've opened up Audacity because I want to open up my MP3 file and I want to convert it into a WAV file, which is WAV. So there's my 8-bit backing track MP3 file, which is 4 megabytes in size. Now I don't need to do anything to it. I just simply go to File, Export Audio, and it automatically comes as WAV for me. And I've got to decide where I want to go. So for the time being, I'm going to drop it on my desktop. So when I press export, after a couple of seconds, it doesn't take very long, I've now got two versions of it. So there's my WAV file and there's my MP3 file. And the WAV file, just to point out, is a bit chunky in terms of size in comparison to the MP3 file. Originally, the MP3 file, I think, is 4 megabytes. The WAV file is something like 30 megabytes, as you can see there. So it's a little bit of an issue in that respect. Now, this file, I will need to move at some point, but just for the time being, I just want to go over. I just need to get rid of this bit here a second. I just want to go over how to actually get it to work on your Visual Studio project or your Visual Basic project. So my plan is when the game starts up, so when I press play and this loads up on screen, I will have some music playing straight away and I want it to loop around continuously. To get that to work, I need to double click on anything other than the labels, the text boxes and buttons. So I just click away from it here and it generates this sub procedure. And basically form one load means whatever code is in here, when I press play, it kicks in straight away. Now the code I need is this line of code here in the Visual Basic form. So we're in the forms area. It's that one here. And if I copy that across into this and paste it in, and straight away you should hopefully notice that that's not the name of my file. So I've got to change that to the name of the file here. So I'm just going to copy the name and bring it and paste it into there. Job done. Well, in fact, not, because what's going to happen is it's going to try to play that, and it's going to give me a big error message to say, that's not working, I'm afraid you can't do it. So I did say a second ago that this is going to be moved from my desktop, and the place it's going to go is where my actual rock, paper, scissors work is saved. So I had to dig around a bit to find out where it is, and it's somewhere amongst all this craziness here, all these folders. But within this, and within the rock, paper, scissors part there, I need to go into bin, I need to go into debug, Internet 8 Windows, and that's where it's going to go in here. So I'm going to just remove backing tracks. I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to drag the WAV file into there. Now, what should happen is when I press play, it will look in this folder for that track then, the one which we've called 8-bit backing track. That's why it's got to be exactly the right characters for the name of the file and the file extension as well, WAV. So let's just test that when I press play. And what should happen is it should start to play. He says with all confidence. Yay. So it's playing there in the background. Now the issue is at this point, if I just close that down, it will play once and it will stop. So I don't know if you noticed on here, but there is this extra bit which allows you to have that looping around in the background. So basically what that means is oh for goodness sake, it means that it will play, it won't just play once and stop, it will continuously play and play and play. So if I go on to this bit on the end here and paste it in, so it's just this extra bit on. Now nothing should change. It should just start playing straight away. Now my issue is when I go onto Form 2, and I'm going to test this a moment now because I think I've got it set. What's going on there? Oh, paper scissors. Oh, I know where it is. It's because I deleted that backing track thing. Just bear with me a second. Oh, that's what it is. I've actually got, for some reason, I copied across two speech brackets. So I just got to get rid of one of the brackets. And when I press play, it should be fine. So there we go. It goes away. And as I kind of get this to work, I'm hoping when I click on the next part, yeah, it continues playing. Brilliant. But say if I wanted another thing to play on here to basically, so there was no music playing from the first form. I'm just going to stop for a minute because I don't know if you can hear me over the music. I will need to put a bit of code onto my form 2. So if I open up form 2, I think if I just double click it there, do the same again with double clicking this. And I just want, just get rid of you there a minute. So we've got this form 2 load thing. I'm just going to pinch another bit of code here, which is my computer audio dot stop. So what that does then, The track will play continuously on the first form, so it can just play over and over and over and loop in. But when I come onto the second form with this line of code, I'm hoping when I press play and I come onto the second form, it should stop. So if I do what I've got to do to get onto it, there and stop then. Now, it's not saying you've got to do that, but it's just a good way to know how to control sound effects. Now, the one thing I'll point out on this is I have actually got obviously this, so it'll play background loop, a constant song in the background, but you can actually add these bits of code, so the my computer audio.stop and the play bit here as well, without the background loop to actually play a sound when you click on a button or if you type something into a text box or if you choose rock or if you choose paper, if you choose scissors, but it's there for you to use if you want to.